Hey, what's up guys? Welcome back to Bringing Division video. Today I want to go over the new exotics in Title Update 10. Now this is on the PTS, so keep in mind some numbers or some things can get tweaked until this patch is fully live on the actual game. But for the most part, these are the new exotics coming into TU10. There's 4 of them, 2 of them are actually raid exclusives from the second raid, so you'll be able to acquire them like that. And 2 of them are actually just in-game as new exotics. So I want to go over all of them, show you guys what they do, what the talents are, what they look like, and just kind of talk about them in one video. So if you guys enjoyed the video or find it helpful, don't forget to leave a like, subscribe for more videos, and let's get right into this. Alright, so the first thing I do want to talk about is actually our new gear piece in TU10. This is a exotic mask, and it is called a Vial. This is our second exotic mask in the game, and this is what it looks like. In my opinion, it looks kind of dope. I kind of like the theme they're going with the masks, at least exotics one. They're just making them look kind of cool and, you know, something we haven't really seen before. But this is actually a utility or a skill kind of gear piece. So this is going to be kind of reliable for your skill power builds for PvP or PvE, or kind of utility builds in general for the game. For the core attributes, what you're receiving on this one is +1 skill tier. And then for the attributes, what I have on mine is status effect, hazard protection, and you can also equip a utility mod as well. So again, kind of for skill tier kind of build, for utility builds, this is something you can combine with a certain build you have. Now for the talent, what it's called Toxic Delivery. So what it says is status effects also apply a damage over time debuff for 10 seconds. Total damage dealt is equal to 50% of your concussion grenade damage and increased by your status effect attributes. So this could be an interesting kind of gear piece you can again kind of tie together with a certain build. If you're going for a status effect build for PvP, for PvE, I know there's a lot of people that love using builds like that. This is potentially something you can replace one of your exotics and use this on that build and hopefully make it a little bit better. To be honest, this is not something I'm really too interested in. I'm not too much of a skill tier kind of skill power builder, although I have made some builds in the past with skill tier and just skill power utility in general. This is not something that I would personally am, super excited about. But again, for those people that love using builds like that, this is a great potential, for other combinations of builds. So that's our only exotic gear piece in this update. The next thing I do actually want to go over is the exotic sniper. Now this is once again something you can acquire in game. This is not a raid exclusive, and by the way, that mask as well was not raid exclusive. But the next thing is the sniper. This is called the Mantis, and in my opinion, it looks dope. It's something out of like Call of Duty with like the camouflage and just kind of how it looks. It's giving me those Call of Duty vibes like Modern Warfare 2, Modern Warfare 3. So again, what it's called the Mantis, and what the talent is, or actually mine comes with 612,000 damage, but obviously that's different for kind of everyone's build. I also have marksman rifle damage, headshot damage, critical hit chance. For the talent, it's called In Plain Sight. So what it does is your scoped view displays additional information about enemies not targeting you. Headshots and weak point damage against enemies not targeting you amplified by 50%. Headshot kills reset the cooldown of the decoy skill. This bonus will wait until the decoy goes on cooldown if currently active. So pretty interesting talent. This is something I will definitely have to kind of play around with in PvE and see if it's actually, really reliable. If this is something you kind of want to replace your nemesis with. On paper, it seems kind of interesting and kind of good. But again, that's just kind of on paper. I really haven't had the chance to test it out too much, but kind of interesting, a little bit different, and something to, kind of test out on the PTS and when it comes out in full game. Up next, I do want to go over the 2 new raid exclusive exotics. Now the first one is actually the pistol. This is called the Regulus, and once again you get this from the second raid, just if you're opening some boxes or from the bosses if you can get lucky. So this is what it looks like. It looks pretty cool. This kind of gives off the Red Dead Redemption vibes in my opinion. But yeah, it looks pretty sick. For the talent, what it comes with is Regicide. I think that's how you say it. I might have just butchered that, but what it does is headshot kills create a 5-meter explosion, dealing 400% weapon damage and applying bleed to all enemies hit. So this talent seems kind of interesting to me. This will be very good in my opinion for kind of PvE, if you're clearing out maybe a group of enemies that are kind of bunched together, or just in general, if you are hitting headshots, this could be something kind of useful for PvE. Now for PvP, this can be kind of interesting as well. I haven't really had the time to play with this and kind of test it out for either. But if you can put a build together with this and kind of just mess around, this could be a pretty fun weapon to use actually for both scenarios, for PvP and PvE. For the talents, what it comes with is a engraved drum, so it gives you 10% reload speed, and it also comes with a muzzle that gives you plus 5% critical hit damage for this exotic. So yeah, this is the new pistol. The Regulus looks pretty cool. The talent seems very interesting, and I will definitely have to play with this a little bit more and kind of test it out for PvE and see how it kind of functions with those higher difficulty missions and just kind of group clearing, you know, in certain missions. Last but not least, we do have the exotic rifle, and this once again is a raid exclusive. It is called the Regulus, and this is something that's actually pretty good in my opinion. I have used it a little bit on NPCs. I did have time to kind of test it out a little bit, and it's a really fun weapon. It is a rifle, as I said, so it does that, you know, really good damage from a distant or medium range, and also how it kind of functions is really interesting, and just overall it's a pretty fun weapon to play around with. For the talents, what it comes with is Gary and Frecky. Might have butchered that again, I do apologize, but what it does is on trigger pull, fire both barrels at once. When fired from the right shoulder, hits add offensive primers and defensive primers when fired from the left shoulder. Hits from one shoulder will detonate all of the opposite shoulder's primers when present. When detonated, each offensive primer deals 100% weapon damage, while each defensive primer grants 4% or plus 4% bonus armor and 10% plus 10% amplified damage to armor plates for 5 seconds. So yeah, it's a pretty good weapon, and it's kind of, it might have been a little bit hard to understand, so I'm going to have some gameplay in the background of how this kind of works and, you know, what happens to the player or to your character when you use this weapon. Overall, it's a really fun kind of concept. You are pretty much switching shoulders left and right. So for example, if you shoot like 3 shots from your right shoulder, you switch to your left shoulder, an explosion goes off, it does a lot of damage to the NPC. Obviously, the more primers you shoot from a certain shoulder, then switch to the other one to detonated, the more explosive damage it is going to be doing. So again, it's a really fun concept of a weapon. This could be very, very useful for, you know, killing like raid bosses or just bosses in general. And if you can pair this up with like explosive damage, it will be, you know, kind of interesting to see how it works out. Obviously, there will be a bunch of different builds with this weapon to kind of make it more efficient, but you know, right off the package, out of the box, this weapon is pretty good in my opinion, and kind of fun to use. It's a little bit different than just your standard kind of weapon of just, you know, you're doing damage and that's pretty much it. So yeah, pretty cool rifle. For the attachment, what you get is, for the optic, you're getting plus 5% critical hit chance. For the magazine, plus 10% reload speed. For the underbarrel, you're getting plus 10% stability, and the muzzle, you're getting plus 5% critical hit damage. The one thing I do want to say about this is it does have a 60 round magazine, so for a rifle that is kind of a lot. So again, it's really kind of beneficial if you are running this, because you pretty much have like an AR mag capacity, but it is a rifle and it's doing a lot more damage, not including the explosives or the other bonuses of giving you like extra armor and amplified damage to armor plates. So really cool, really good exotic in my opinion. This is something I will definitely be hunting for in the second raid. The revolver, not really the best thing in my opinion, but this is something that will be definitely kind of worth grinding the raid for and seeing if you can get lucky and getting it from a boss or just a crate drop in the second raid. So yeah, that's pretty much everything for the video. These are the 4 new exotics coming into U10 in the future. The 3 weapons, the 1 gear piece. Kind of wish it was a little bit more exotics, but it is what it is. Some of these exotics, especially the rifle in my opinion, are very, very cool, so I'm not too mad that there's only 4 of them coming in the next batch. Like I said, if you have any questions, let me know in the comment section below. I'll try to get back to you as soon as possible. If it's about the PTS, the patch, the weapons in general, just let me know. I'll get to you as soon as I see it. So thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to leave a like, subscribe for more videos, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace out.